and welcome to my channel. If you are brand new here, my name is Diana and I'm a watercolor artist and work from home mom. So I just checked my YouTube channel recently and saw the most popular. I think you can like check it. And I was super surprised to find that my most popular video was how to go from side hustle to a full-time artist. I created that video like 2 years ago and I saw that it had over 37,000 views, which to some of you might not be a lot, but to me I was like, wow, this is so cool that there's that many people out there that are interested in pursuing art as their full-time career or make some money out of it. And I'm so passionate about that, and it made me so happy to see that that was my #1 video. I also scrolled through the comments and read some of your comments, and a lot of you guys mentioned that you're in a place where you are curious about it and you're interested in it, but you are scared or you have no idea how to start. So I thought in today's video, I would share my journey of how I got from closet artist to a 6-figure creative business owner, and being able to work with companies like Google, Nordstrom, Alaska Airlines, LaCroix, Starbucks, Givenchy. I still can't believe it myself, like that I, as a very small artist, get to work with huge companies and paint thousands of people. And I want to share this story because I want you to know that you can absolutely do it too by starting even before you are ready. So if you're interested in my story, then please hit subscribe down below and like this video, and let's just dive into it. So just to rewind and share a little bit of my background, I grew up loving to draw and paint my whole life. I think I was always a creative spirit, but I always thought that I wasn't good enough and that it wasn't even possible to pursue art as a realistic career. My parents are also first-generation immigrants, so moving to the US, not knowing the language, not having a ton of money or resources or people that they knew, they were constantly in survival mode. So I grew up in that kind of environment where things were very practical and it just wasn't feasible to maybe have a creative calling be a realistic option. Not to say that they weren't supportive, because they were absolutely supportive and they told me that I could do anything, which was, I think, a huge part of why I am the way I am because of my parents. But I also didn't want to burden them financially, because I know that I had to make my own money if I wanted to go to school, buy a car and things like that. So that's the way I grew up. And now I'm gonna forward a little bit to senior year of high school. I was applying to colleges at the time, and I was seriously considering majoring in art because that's something that I love to do. But I remember my art teacher, I was in an art studio AP class, and my art teacher told me, hey, I think that maybe this is not a realistic career for you. Maybe you should keep this as a hobby instead. And at the time, I totally believed her. I was like, you know what? It's true. Like, the starving artist stereotype is a common phrase that I hear, and I just didn't think it was that realistic, and that I wasn't honestly that good enough to pursue that. So in college, I decided to apply as a fashion design major, and I took all these fashion classes. And basically a semester in, I quickly realized, you know what, I love fashion and I love looking at fashion and I appreciate it, but I don't know if I want to pursue this as my full-time career. So I just decided, while I'm at junior college, I'm just going to try out all different types of subjects. So I basically took classes in everything that I was interested in, from journalism, health, communication, psychology, art history, all the things. And then of course I took some art classes as well. So I spent about a year, or maybe a little bit more than a year, doing that. And I found out a lot of the things that I liked and disliked. And I couldn't help but always come back to art, which was my first love. And so I was like, okay, maybe, I just try out art and see where it goes. So I decided to take more illustration classes. And at the time, I was also going to church, and at my church, we had an opportunity to go on a mission trip to Alaska. They were going to support a church that was giving back to the homeless ministries in Alaska. So I was like, that sounds really cool. I never really traveled before, and Alaska looks really pretty. I really want to go there. So I thought, you know, what can I do to get myself over there? I was already going to school full time, and I had a part-time job where I was using that money to fund myself to school. So it's not like I had a ton of leftover money and I couldn't ask my parents. So I decided to fundraise for it. This was summer of 2013, I believe. And my latest obsession at the time was watercolor. It was very new to me, but I was obsessed with it. So I thought, you know what, why not create a watercolor calendar so I could sell it and get myself to Alaska. So that's what I decided to do. And I had no idea how much goes into making a product. Like, I just thought I painted and then I sell it. And I didn't really think much of what that would look like. But basically I had to not only learn a brand new medium, which was watercolor, I had to learn how to scan it, digitize it, print, ship, packaging, set up an online store, all of the things. And I also created an Etsy shop, Instagram, and stuff like that. So that is kind of how everything got started. I wasn't trying to put my work out there to seriously pursue a career in art. I just really wanted to get myself to Alaska. And long story short, I basically created a calendar and I raised enough money to get myself to Alaska, which was a huge win for me at the time because, like I said, I didn't have that much going on in my life. I was at a community college. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, where my friends around me, my peers, were graduating from their four-year universities and getting their first, you know, 9-to-5 job. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And so that was the one win that I had. And it gave me enough confidence to start posting more of my work. So I created an Instagram and I started posting more of my watercolor work, which was terrifying because, like I said, this was very new for me and I wasn't good as other people. And I just shared my journey from that place, you know, of honesty and telling people, hey, buy my watercolor calendar because I really want to go to Alaska. And people wanted to support me in that journey. And basically I was doing that on the side while going to school full time. I had 2 other part-time jobs and a random side job where I was doing some trade shows, traveling and stuff like that. And I was sharing all of this online while sharing my artwork and sharing my journey. And I was doing this for 2 years as my side hustle. And then I got to a point where I was getting too many requests for freelance work, just really random stuff that I absolutely love doing. And it started to take more and more of my time. So I had to kind of decide, like, do I want to try and pursue this full time? And it was so scary because I thought, what if I fail? Like, what if no one wants to support me? What if I'm not good enough? What if it's so irresponsible and unrealistic for me to do this, you know? I was thinking through all of these things, and then another thought popped into my head and I thought, but what if it worked out? Like, what if I had fun? What if I try this for a year and I see where things go? And that really got me so excited. So that was the summer of 2015. So I thought, you know, by the time that summer ends, August of 2015, I'm going to quit my jobs and try this thing full time. And that is honestly how everything started to go. And I'm so thankful for that one win of being able to get myself to Alaska that drove me and gave me enough confidence to move forward. So I want to share my story because I didn't have an art degree. I didn't have all of these resources. I was a 21-year-old kid who had random part-time jobs, never had real working experience. My art was just okay. And I just shared my journey of where I was at and people were excited about it. You know, people related with it. And so I want to share that story with you because I want you to know, like, whatever that is that you're imagining that you have to have today before you achieve the thing that you want to achieve, that is all in your head. That is not real, you know, like that is a huge roadblock that is stopping you from pursuing the thing and taking that step forward to get closer to the thing that you want. And if you are actually excited about the possibility of pursuing art as your career, then I highly recommend just take a step. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Even if it doesn't work out, you might just have fun, or it might work out. I don't know. Like, that's the beauty in trying something new. So I really encourage you to try it out, whatever that looks like today. And if you want to learn watercolor and pursuing that as your potential career as well, then I have a free 1-hour masterclass where I share a little bit more in depth of my story. I also share more tangible details like my favorite art supplies and the right techniques and stuff like that. You can check out my free masterclass at thewatercolorcourse.com. I'll also leave a link down below. I hope you take that first step today, and I hope my journey inspired you to try something out before you're ready for it, because let's be real, we'll never truly be ready before we take action. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments down below what you want to see next. I would be more than happy to share anything related to my creative journey. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.